So it's been 1 month now since I first got my hands on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, Samsung's latest and greatest flagship smartphone for 2023. And in this video, I want to share with you guys some of the personal experiences I've had with this phone after 1 month of personal usage, and share some insight on whether or not I can personally recommend this phone to anyone out there watching this video that may be interested in getting one. So let's get started. Starting with the price. At the time of this video, this phone is available at Samsung.com. The retail price is $1,200, which is what I personally paid for this S23 Ultra over here. I do have two S23 Ultras because Samsung was kind enough to send out this review unit ahead of time. That's how I was able to use the phone for well over a month now to bring this video to you guys. But starting off with the design of this phone, even though it hasn't changed much on camera and in person, honestly, over the S22 Ultra, there's still some major design changes going on here. While the backs of these phones have not changed all too much, we just have slightly larger camera modules on the new S23 Ultra, and a personal touch that I'm really appreciative of is that the coloring of the sides of those camera modules now match the color of your phone. Pointed that out in my video last year. They actually went ahead and changed that, so I love that we have a uniform color. But a much more noteworthy difference here between these two phones is that there's much flatter sides on the S23 Ultra. I've noticed actually a significant difference of feel in the hand overall between these two phones. The S22 Ultra is very rounded feeling in the hand compared to the S23 Ultra. It has a much more natural, flatter feeling in the hand. It's something that I really picked up on and noticed in my first month of personal usage that just gives it such a superior feel. We also have a slight weight increase on the S23 Ultra. It is on the heavier side compared to a lot of other smartphones on the market, but I've gotten used to this weight. We still have what is a great overall package between the weight and just all the features and functionalities you're getting out of this phone that you can enjoyably and comfortably use on a daily basis. I also want to quickly touch on the durability of this phone because all these smartphone manufacturers also promote better durability year after year. So even though Samsung is promoting a more durable display, I still found that you are going to experience what I call micro scratches, which are just very tiny visible marks you are going to get on your display, whether that's from taking your phone in and out of your pocket, taking it in and out of bags, stowing it away in your car, putting it onto any hard surface or tabletop, having it scratch against your keys. Everybody's going to experience some of these micro scratches to some extent. After 1 month of personal usage so far, I can honestly attribute the fewer scratches overall that I've had on this screen thanks to the case that I've been using from Casetify, who's actually the sponsor of this video. I've been using this impact case alongside this S23 Ultra in my first month of personal usage. The lips on the top and the bottom made sure that my screen was protected. It has 8.2 feet of drop protection. I went ahead and did 2 drop tests directly on concrete for you guys. When I picked it back up, I was happy to find the phone is in fully functional condition. There were no imperfections to the screen or the phone. I went ahead and dropped it a second time. This time it actually landed right on the corner where the S Pen is located. I was really appreciative that this impact case has some extra lip in the area of the S Pen, and honestly, above all else, the amazing grip of this case has been the best feature about it for me. And if this look and design doesn't cut it for you, Casetify has a ton of different designs and color and material options for this exact same impact case. They also have some other pretty useful products to go along with their cases, such as their utility strap. And Casetify was also kind enough to send over a discount code for 15% off. So check out the first link in the description. Huge thanks to Casetify for sponsoring this video and allowing me to keep my S23 Ultra safe and protected in my first month of usage so far. But now it's time to get into the real meat and potatoes of this review of this phone, because fairly enough, up to this point, you could argue, Shane, okay, there's really not that much difference going on between these two phones. Sure, there's a couple slight design differences. Sure, there's a couple physical differences. So what exactly is going on with this S23 Ultra that makes it so special and so worthy of the hype that it's been receiving online over the past month or so? So I want to start out with the display. We have the same great 6.8-inch 1440p 120 Hz AMOLED display. One of the biggest takeaways I have with this S23 Ultra after 1 month of usage is the flatter display on the front. So we have more of a rounded display on the S22 Ultra on the right here. And again, it might not look like much on video, but in your day-to-day use, just experiencing this screen straight on when you're using the phone in landscape orientation, just any way you're using the phone, I am much more preferring and appreciating this slightly flatter display here on the S23 Ultra. And while I understand that a lot of people just want a completely flat display for this Ultra variant phone to go along with their S Pen and having just an entirely flat canvas to have the entire screen at their disposal, I feel like Samsung has truly hit a sweet spot with this S23 Ultra as far as just the screen size and the layout of the screen. When you look at this phone straight on, just naturally resting in the hand, you can see that you have just enough bezel to not be having any chance of any accidental touches. I know there's software capabilities on other previous generation Samsung phones that prevent those kind of accidental touches, but it's just a nice peace of mind thing to have just a little bit of bezel, a little bit of wiggle room to comfortably hold and use this phone regardless of the orientation you have it in. Whereas the S22 Ultra still had that issue of, you can see how it just really glosses over the edges here, holding it in the same exact orientation for you guys. It might be more immersive to some, but it becomes a nuisance when you have absolutely no bezel to be holding on to with the phone. It's the same great display as we had on the S22 Ultra, but I just feel like Samsung has hit the sweet spot with this as far as the aspect ratio to give us a very large screen, but not having so wide of a phone that it feels unwieldy in the hand. And it feels great for just taking out the S Pen and just jotting down your everyday notes. But now a much more noteworthy update that I definitely want to share with you guys is my battery life performance so far. This is one of the areas where I noticed a significant improvement on this phone compared to really any other previous Samsung phone I've used up to this point in time. My most telling example was my first 3 days of usage with this phone. The phone was still getting used to my usage patterns, but in 2 days and 22 hours of time, I was able to get 9 hours and 22 minutes of screen on time, which is just absolutely insane. I'm using this at the 1440p resolution, 120 Hz refresh rate, between 50 and 100% brightness for this entire use case. Use the phone at maximum brightness for at least an hour and a half of the time navigating with Google Maps in the car. That's something that always drains a ton of my battery on any phone. Doing some web browsing, replying to some of your YouTube comments and things like that. Overall, a lighter use case. The fact that we're even here talking about getting up to 3 days of battery life on a phone like this with the settings that it has, I feel like it was just a few years ago when all-day battery life was a big selling metric for a lot of these phones. If it gets through the day, then it's worth purchasing. Then it got to the point where a 2-day battery life was super impressive. You could go 2 days without having to charge. But now there's the potential to go up to 3 days without having to charge this phone. Is just crazy to me, and it is a serious upgrade over the S22 Ultra. This S22 Ultra, the most I could get out of this phone was 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. And in the heaviest of use cases with this S22 Ultra, I would only get about 6 hours of screen on time, whereas really the absolute minimum of screen on time I'm getting with this S23 Ultra is about 7 to 8 hours. What makes it even more impressive is that it's simply because of a processor update to this phone. Battery capacity of these two phones are exactly the same. We're going from what was, for me personally, a 6 to 8 hours of screen on time battery life up to a 7 to 9.5 hour battery life. And what this tells me the most is that when you are using this phone in lighter use cases, so when you have the screen brightness turned down a little bit, maybe you turn down the resolution if you don't necessarily need the 1440p, you can really push this battery life really far. And I can vouch for this using the S23 Plus for about a month now, because I've had some use cases at home just kind of scrolling through social media and things for an hour on this S23 Plus and only taking up about 5% of the battery or so. You are getting insanely good battery life out of this phone, and it's one of the biggest and most noteworthy upgrades coming to this phone. And one of the other most noteworthy improvements coming to this S23 Ultra is in the camera system. There's two major upgrades, and that is the 200 megapixel sensor, and then also the AI functionalities that have now been baked in from a hardware perspective into this phone. So starting with that 200 megapixel sensor, I actually went into a lot of detail on this in my original unboxing video, so you can go back and watch that video, and that speaks for itself. But overall, the simple and to the straight point that I've experienced over the past month, there is a lot more detail captured by this S23 Ultra camera compared to the S22 Ultra camera. That's not to say that the camera of the S22 Ultra is bad or inferior by any means. It's just that there's been a serious megapixel upgrade going on here, enough for it to be a noteworthy and mentionable change. For some reason, in a lot of the shots in the S23 Ultra, there's just a ton more detail being captured. Mostly when you're zooming all the way into a lot of photos, you can just see a lot more clarity and a lot more detail coming out of a lot of the shots. And what's really impressive about it is that it's not just in these one-off specific special scenarios. This is in all of the pictures I've taken in the 200 megapixel mode. And what I love about it from an everyday user standpoint is that it's very easy to access. You just go ahead, open up the camera with a double press, go up into your settings, and then you have that 200 megapixel option. It's just so easy to go ahead and turn that on. Now, by default, that's usually not turned on because these 200 megapixel photos do take up a lot of space on your phone. One of these images can take upwards of 30 megabytes, but it is definitely worth it because it's just capturing so many more details. And then the other noteworthy improvement that I mentioned is that AI capability. You're getting a lot more crisp text when you're taking pictures of any sort of text from any sort of distance away. On a recent trip to Pittsburgh, I was taking some pictures of some things from really far away. I am so far away from some of these buildings and some of these signs and things, but when you're zooming into the 10 times optical, especially the 30 times zoom, it really enhances the visual quality of your 100 times zoom shots on this S23 Ultra. I know that the 100 times zoom has been featured on every single Ultra variant Samsung phone up to this point, but this is the best version of it yet because of these AI capabilities. It's making the text so much more crisp. It's a noticeable night and day difference for me personally between even the S22 Ultra. But overall, while we do have a couple notable upgrades, biggest takeaway for me still at this point is just the versatility of these cameras. So there's some other little quality of life touches. We have an improved speaker system here, definitely louder compared to the previous generation. We have some very strong feeling haptics on this phone. Overall, it's a lot of these little quality of life things that make this S23 Ultra so special. And that's going to bring me to my final take on this S23 Ultra after 1 month of personal usage. I know I said it last year, and here I am saying it again. These phones are almost just too good at this point. You really cannot go wrong with any of these higher end smartphones. It's just that if you want the most up-to-date features, the absolute most out of your smartphone, then that's where phones like the S23 Ultra really shine. They're really at the top of the game. I think the S23 Ultra overall is offering pretty much everything you could ever ask for out of a premium smartphone experience here in 2023. Of course, that is to be expected at the price range of a phone like this, but you have to give credit where credit is due. Samsung is finding ways to further refine these ultra premium smartphones year after year, and the S23 Ultra is no exception to that. It may have not had a major redesign upgrade or anything, but this is an iconic design that still has a great look to it. This does not look outdated to me one bit. I have been a huge fan of just this streamlined camera cutout array. And for me personally, it's some of those finer details that really tip the scale for me on this phone, like the better feeling in the hand. If this is in your hand all day, every day, you want that better feel. Having that improved battery life. They might not be super flashy talking points for a YouTube video, but it's those kind of everyday improvements that really entice me to upgrade. And if I were coming from a previous generation Samsung phone, I would definitely be considering this S23 Ultra as my next phone. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the Shane Simons YouTube channel so you don't miss my next video where I'm going to be putting the S23 Ultra head to head with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I have been heavily using both of these smartphones in my day-to-day use case ever since their release, so make sure you're subscribed for that. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.